I started learning how to read at a young age. When I was growing up, I wanted to be just like my older sister. When I saw her go to school, I couldn't wait to go to school too. So when she started to read, I asked her to teach me. At first, she would sit and read out loud to me, but after a while, I wanted to learn how. My mom bought a program called Hooked on Phonics. She would sit with me and sound out simple words until I began to string sentences together. By the end of kindergarten, I was able to read simple picture books. My favorites were all of the Dr. Seuss books. Reading improved a lot during first grade. Through the Book It program, my teacher, Mrs. Roberts, would hand out certificates for a free pizza from Pizza Hut for every book we completed. By the end of that year, I had endless amounts of certificates for free pizzas. In second grade, I discovered the Junie B. Jones books. They were short, easy-read chapter books that I would check out at the library each time we visited once a week. Fourth grade, we were placed into reading groups based on reading ability. I was placed into the higher level, and once we were finished reading our book about Amelia Earhart, instead of doing a skit about our book like all of the other reading groups, our book had to do a book report. That's when I started to get frustrated with reading in school. In middle school, our teachers introduced the Accelerated Reading Program. Each student had to take a test to see what reading level they were. Then they had to read books and take quizzes to earn points. But if you were a higher reading level, you had to read harder books, which were often pretty boring from my experience. Once I moved up to the high school, I started reading more novels for my English classes. We read books like Lord of the Flies and The Giver. I didn't really care for either of the two. I began to dislike reading because of the books they required us to read in school. During my senior year, things changed. My English teacher, Mrs. Connie Heinlein, introduced a different style of teaching. She taught books that weren't on the required list, as well as letting us choose some of our own to read. Our class read books such as The Book Thief, as well as we chose some of our own. I read My Sister's Keeper during that year. Since I've come to CMU, my reading material has changed a lot. Biology and chemistry textbooks have replaced the novels that I once read in English class. Although these books may be more complex and boring at times, I know that they will help me succeed in my classes. Throughout the years, my literacy skills have only grown. I went from a small girl watching her sister read to a college freshman reading difficult textbooks. Reading has been a part of my life since I was a small child. Through many different experiences, I have continued to improve this skill which I use in my everyday life.